Hello, everybody. This is Swati, live from Los Angeles. It's 7 p.m., September 5th. We have one more session left tomorrow morning, my time. So, right now, let's go ahead with our mindfulness studies or mindfulness meditations. And since it's tomorrow is going to be the concluding session. So, today, in fact, I would like to talk to you about the things you should know about mindfulness, because sometimes people think of when they study mindfulness, it may seem like mindfulness is the answer to all. And in some sense it is, but in some other sense, you need to know certain things about mindfulness. As a scientist or somebody who believes in science, I need to inform you of some of the things that some questions that are raised about mindfulness, this idea about mindfulness, and I will tell you what my answers to those questions are. So, first of all, when I was talking about creativity or creative problem solving, somebody sent me a study, and I'm glad they did, because that question sometimes does come up. The study was done at University of California, Santa Barbara, UCSB, and the study basically talks about how mind wandering increases creative problem solving. So the question obviously is, if mind wandering is good for creative problem solving, then how come we are saying that mindfulness, or rather what I said was open awareness, mindfulness meditations are good for creative problem solving? Isn't there a little bit of a discrepancy? So there are two ways in which I can answer this question. First of all, the study is about how mind wandering can increase creative problem solving. Yes, but it does not exclude possibilities, any other possibilities. It is not about mindfulness. It doesn't say that being aware or being mindful is going to directly reduce your creativity. The study is not about that. Also, one thing, those who have seen Dr. Raj's happiness course must have seen a video TED talk in which the speaker talks about how mind wandering is associated with unhappier feelings. So it's true that people who have a mind wandering problem, it is hard for them to retain information and execute their ideas. So they may get creative ideas, but it doesn't mean they'll be able to execute it. And there is certain frustration or certain unhappiness associated with the out of control kind of a feeling. So being aware or being mindful, again, the big reason we are studying it is for increased sense of well-being. So let's remember that. Now, as far as creative problem solving is concerned, not all types of mindfulness meditations are directly related to creative problem solving. And I'm not talking about creativity as in artistic, like ideas. I don't know about those things, but I know the studies, as I said, that were done in Netherlands, Leiden University, that specifically studies open awareness meditation as a source for increased insight-oriented thinking, as well as coming up with more than one creative solutions to problems. So just remember, that's partly the reason why I am getting into open awareness meditations for you. In the same study, they did the focused attention meditations as well, but they don't think focused attention is particularly conducive to creative problem solving type of thinking. So the way open awareness goes is it's not exactly like concentration. It's not just concentration. As we know, we open up our attention and we are aware of what's going on in our body. And as I suggested, if let's say if you have a problem, first you need to analyze the problem, understand the problem, and then let go. Stop the analysis, and then you can do this open awareness meditation, which is going to be restful for the brain. And because your intention is to look for the problem, the solution to the problem, there will be thoughts and feelings that will come to you that are probably related to the problem, but maybe not. So this rest or break is also supposed to be good for realizing that aha moment. So just understand there is no discrepancy between what we have been talking about. The other thing that comes up is mindfulness meditations. Should we be mindful 24/7, and will that work? And I have said it before also. Uh, we are not monks. Our job is not to look for solutions to certain kind of spiritual problems or to look for certain attainment by increased awareness. We are using it as a increased sense of well-being and all the other things I talked about. One of the big things in which mindfulness is useful for us is self-awareness, but also awareness of others, as well as to have better relationship with others, to create a world that is better around us, to create a sense of community. That's part of feeling more sense of well-being. And as we all have talked about, reduced anger, increased compassion, increased patience, and all these things are going to attribute to your having better relationships with people and having more helpful or empathy type of feelings towards people. So that's the reason why we are studying mindfulness. So we are not trying to be mindful 24/7. In fact, certain activities during the day will require to do multitasking. And also not just that, but certain kinds of things which are into so-called brain stem, or those are habitual things. You don't want to analyze it and pay attention to each and every moment. For example, when you are riding a bike, or when you are playing tennis, or when you are doing um, activities where you know these activities, you have learned these activities, and you want to actually do it more effectively. You want to play the piano without thinking about it. In fact, if you start paying attention to each and every moment, it may not work. It may not be as efficient and effective as it used to be. For example, when you're driving, people have asked me this question: should I be paying attention to all five senses? The answer is no, that's not what I'm asking you. To have focus and concentration when you are driving, yeah, that's good. But I'm not asking you to do mindful driving, meaning, when we do mindful activities, how we pay attention to senses, each and every muscle movement and all these things. That's not what you're doing when you're driving. So keep that in mind. So there is a certain wisdom you want to have in terms of when you want to do what you want to do mindfully, and where you don't want to spend time stretching the moment. In fact, you want to allow your brainstem to take over. When you're learning something new, for example, a skill that is a new skill, that's not the time when you want to analyze it mindfully, or analysis is not the right word. You don't want to attend to it too mindfully, because it will take you longer to make it into a habit. When it comes to breaking a habit, being aware and changing a pattern, yes, mindfulness is going to be very useful for you. And hopefully, as you do more and more mindfulness meditations, all this will be cultivated. And a certain intuition or certain wisdom or certain way to solve problems will become part of it. And for that purpose, I'm going to start having once a week sessions where you can keep up your practice. There is a third time when I am going to say that mindfulness is not the only thing you want to look at. For example, if there is any severe mental disorder, such as severe clinical depression, where you are not able to get out of the house, type of clinical depression, or if you are having extremely anxious, like panic attack kinds of things, I would say work with somebody, work with a professional. If you have to take medication, for those of you who are okay with medication, I'm personally not going to say don't take medication. I'm going to say do those other things, and you can add mindfulness meditation to it. But you should do it under somebody else's guidance, because you don't want to get in your mindfulness meditation. In fact, you want to move away from being immersed or being too self-referential. In order to avoid depression, what you want to do, you want to pay attention to the other things. You also want to do loving kindness, compassion, gratitude kind of meditation. So if there is any clinical depression, then please seek professional help. If there is any psychosis and these kinds of things, then I wouldn't advise doing mindfulness meditation just casually, but to do it under somebody's guidance and do it when it is appropriate. So keep that in mind. So, so in general, the reason mindfulness meditations work so well is partly because think about it, the idea of being aware, being mindful, and to become self-aware, not only self-aware, but to be able to focus and concentrate, to have the patience, to be able to sit through unpleasant feelings in order to go to the next level. All these things, obviously, all these trainings are going to help you in whatever you're trying to do in your life. So in that sense, mindfulness, that's why partly mindfulness has become a big deal. It has been most of the claims that I have been making, there has been scientific evidence. Stress reduction, yes. Cognitive abilities increase and memory, yes. But these some of these studies, they need to replicate it more. They need to do more and more studies and with bigger samples in order to make sure that what we are talking about is indeed true. But that's true of all psychological tools. You need to replicate the studies to make sure that whatever you're talking about is not just one time fluke. And mindfulness meditation, there has been an explosion of scientific studies. And it's the most researched scientific psychological tool at this point. And in that sense, a lot of claims that, at least the ones that I have been telling you about, I trust those claims. Scientific studies is one thing, but as well as anecdotal evidence. Besides, if it is important to you to know that for 2,500 years, 22,500 years, this wisdom has existed, has been used, and has been used effectively and successfully. That also is an indication that we have found something that is secular yet sacred. It's simple but serious. And it is something that has the potential to change your life for the better and give you increased sense of well-being. And so with that in mind, let's get into an awareness, open awareness meditation. So today when we do our open awareness meditation, we are going to do it with closed eyes again. When you do it on your own, you could have your eyes open and see what comes in your attention span. So close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. And now pay attention to your breath for some time, breathing in and breathing out. And now open your awareness, open it up and see what comes into your awareness, what image, what thought, what feeling, what body sensation or breath, or anything that's brought to you by this external world, such as sound, Just pay attention, and whatever your attention goes to first, stay there for a little bit. Notice it, observe it without judgment, total acceptance. Just observe it. I'm thinking of this, thinking. I'm feeling this, feeling is coming to me. I see this image. This is the way you're going to meditate. If your mind is wandering around, bring it back to being aware, watching your awareness. What are you aware of? Mind, body, the way in which whatever is coming to you, your mind and body, how is it experiencing it right now? You're observing it. You're observing your awareness. Just relax and observe. Gently observe. You may be tempted to actually fall for the thought. If you start thinking about, for example, to-do list, and start thinking about what all you need to plan or what all you need to do for the rest of the day, if it is morning time for you, just notice that's where your mind is. Your mind is trying to make lists. No need to take action, simply observe. If it is evening time for you and if you're thinking about what you're going to have for dinner or what you're going to cook, or if you haven't cooked already, thinking about, oh my God, I need to do that. Just notice that's what's coming to your mind. No need to jump and do anything about it. Hungry, thinking of food, or planning. That's what's going on in my mind right now. You're observing. Bring your attention back to your awareness. Attempt the attention, aware of awareness. Aware, aware of what is going on with your mind and all your body. Aware, and now bring your attention back to your breath again. and say the line 3 times. Breathe in, I smile. Breathe out, I'm okay. Breathe in, I smile. Breathe out, I'm okay. Breathe in, I smile. Breathe out, I'm okay. You can open your eyes slowly at first and then all the way. Now I'm going to wait for a couple of minutes to see if there are any questions or comments. Meanwhile, just to let you know, tomorrow is one session, morning time for me, and it will be evening time in India and then everywhere else in the world accordingly. So some of you have already written to me offering to volunteer for different things, and I want to say thank you to all of those people. I'm going to ask you to do one thing for me, which is to write to anywhere between 2 to 5 friends, write an email to them, tell them about the camp, and also tell them about the app to meditate. When I send you the concluding email tomorrow, I'll send you the links to downloading to meditate. Either they can look in the app store or you can use the link. They can use the links as well as the link for this camp. Although the camp itself will be done, we will be continuing it. And if they register, whoever it is, if they register, they'll get access to all the recorded session as well as the ongoing once a week sessions. And same goes, you guys who are already registered don't need to do anything, but the ones who haven't, the new people will need to do that. So just keep that in mind and send it to at least 2 and up to 5 people to spread the word. And if you are on Facebook or Twitter, then either tweet or put it up on your Facebook or send the invitation to 2 to 5 people to download the app as well as to get on my Facebook. To get on the camp. So that way we will be all spreading the word of mindfulness and you will be collecting merit. And we are going to randomly pick one person, and that person will be able to have one-on-one Skype with me uh, to answer whatever questions they have or whatever specific thing they may be working on. There'll be 1 hour free Skype session with me personally. So that's what we are going to do. Meanwhile, I see a couple of comments. Let's see. Roshni saying, thank you for the 6 week camp, learned a lot. You are welcome. And Joyce is saying, me too. You guys are welcome. Yes, we have covered a lot of ground, but because we had every day of 6 weeks, although we did cover a lot of ground, I don't think we did it like in a hurry and without paying attention. We did it quite mindfully. Now you have a whole repertory of meditations, and when we get to the practice, we will be doing the practice appropriately. But I would suggest breath, body, and feeling. These are the 3 basic mindfulness meditations which you keep practicing. You can do it. You can also do the open awareness. Okay, that's also another way. So breath and then body, then feelings, and then open awareness. That's basically the progression when you practice. And of course, add loving kindness, gratitude, self-compassion whenever you feel the need. Enrique is saying thank you too. Thank you to all of you. The best part for me was to interact with you guys, to get all the questions and to be able to answer the questions. I think I have answered all of you guys. If there's anyone who, by any chance, if I have failed to respond, because I did get a lot of emails, so if I didn't respond to you, and if you want a response, write back to me. But looks like we have run out of time, and I will talk to you tomorrow again. You're welcome, Enrique, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.